Hey guys, Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. And today I'm doing a system update video. So we made some changes to our video system, and this is my very crude but I think effective diagram to let everybody know what's going on. So one of the things that comes up when you're a volunteer tech is trying to document the system on the cheap. And this is a real quick and dirty way to do it. I did this in Google Docs and then saved it as a PDF, and then I just annotated over it with my little commenting tool over here. I got my little red pen here, and I can make some scribbles. Go ahead and delete that. But yeah, so it's pretty crude thing, but it communicates what needs to be communicated, and it came in handy, so we made some updates. So let's talk through these updates and what we did. So on February 7th, 2016, we added a new display. So we swapped a very old Vizio display. This was a Vizio plasma display, which could handle 1080, but it could only do 30 hertz. So it was from the way back in the day before 60 hertz was a common thing. So we swapped out that display, which was heavy. That thing was a heavy beast. It had a lot of trouble switching inputs. You would switch through some inputs, and if you weren't quick enough and the display didn't detect a signal, it would go into this deep sleep mode. Then you'd have to like power cycle it and wait for it to come back online, and it was just, it's the exact opposite that you want of a display, especially when something crazy happens during a service and you're trying to switch inputs or switch a resolution or navigate, and the buttons on the side didn't really work that great. They would stick sometimes they wouldn't work, and Fellowship Hall, like, that's the way that they can see the words. So it's it can cause some, it was causing some big problems. And also the fact that it couldn't do 60 hertz was meaning that if the resolutions that we're distributing here with our DVI distribution amp, if the resolutions don't all match in terms of exact resolution down to the refresh rate, it causes all kinds of problems, and it complicates things. So adding this display simplified our video flow. As you can see, let's talk about that first. So this is our DVI transmitter. We've got Extron DTP 230s in here that transmit DVI over Cat6 cable, and it's not so important that it's Cat6, but I think that it's shielded. So this is a shielded cable right here. I picked a cable based on recommendations from the HD-Base-T Alliance, actually, and lo and behold, this Extron actually doesn't use HD-Base-T in this particular extender, but that's what we were planning for, is HD-Base-T. So that's how I picked our shielded Cat6 cable, which is, good. It was what they recommend for high bandwidth video distribution over Cat. So we've got our transmitter here, and we've got our receiver here, and we've got our new display over here. And this is like a really crude screen capture too. I don't even know how this is going to come out, but my Screencast-O-Matic license expired, so I'm just doing this real quick. So we used to have the signal feeding that display come from our ProPresenter computer, which is this guy over here. This is our ProPresenter computer, and we have 4 video cards in there, or 4 video outputs total. I don't know exactly how many cards there are, but I think that might have like a dual card and another dual card or something like that. But we used to have to do this because we've got a 1080p signal at 60 hertz over here that all these displays can handle, and then we've got 1080 30 hertz here, which had to be its own thing, and then we've still got a 1366 by 768, which has to be by itself because we can't feed it from a DA for that reason. Plus, this is the stage display down here. So stage display actually needs to be an independent feed, so we can put special messages up just for whoever's up on stage in case we need to communicate to them from the control loft. or the control room, I should say. So big note here, DVI 3 is not used anymore. So output 3 is disconnected, hence the X's. We took that cable, we disconnected it, and we fed it right from the distribution amp. So this definitely helps simplify the signal flow, because we've got one less output and resolution to manage in Windows and in Pro Presenter. So there are funny things that can happen when you've got 4 outputs from a single computer and you're trying to manage different resolutions across all those outputs. And we're working towards simplicity here and keeping things consistent. So if we can get to 1080p, our goal for this year is to get everything at 1080p 60 hertz, just to eliminate any complexity that arises because of that. And we've still got some work to do, like I said before. This stage display here is a Panasonic, which is only 1366 by 768. We've actually got another Sharp LC55LE 65-3U that we're going to put there. We just couldn't get to it all in one day, so that's a project for another day. But that's the next thing we're going to work on. And then down here we've got you know, some 1280 by 1024 feeding our SAC master PC, software audio console master PC. And then we've got some more. I've got some more things I need to figure out here. So let's see. The big thing, the other nice thing here is that we went with a Sharp specifically because we've got 2 Sharp up here. So our main displays up here are Sharp, and we just added this one that's a Sharp. This one's also going to be a Sharp. And the convenient thing about that is, and it might not sound like a you know, big thing, but it basically, if you can have one remote or one IR command to control those, it's another way to keep things simple. You know, the menus to navigate through the displays are common across the campus here. We're moving towards that goal to keep everything the same, if it can be. If there's no good reason to go to another manufacturer, it makes a lot of sense to go with the same manufacturer. So later down the line, we're gonna implement some IR extension technology to have all these displays have little bugs planted at each of the displays, or IR bugs, IR buds, I forget, whatever they're called. And they're going to come back to a central hub so that you can just click one button, point it at the rack, click one button, and that same IR code or command will get distributed to all our Sharp displays, and it'll power them all on, power them all off. And it sounds like a pretty basic thing, but you know, it can help. Again, this is working towards simplifying the workflow for volunteers. Everything about what we're trying to do here is to keep things simple. And with that, we started to explore power sequencers, but I will have to make another video for power sequencers. And check out my power sequencing test lab video I did with Josh if you want to see our initial tests and configurations of our Middle Atlantic power sequencers. But anyway, that's enough for this video. This is just a quick little system update to keep everybody in the loop and create a record of this change. And I emailed this PDF out to everybody, so there should be no confusion. Everybody knows what to expect the next time they come in and turn on the system. All right, my name's Nate. This is the Volunteer Tech Vlog. I will see you in the next video.